Mambo ya ajabu.
Mambo ni live, mambo ni vulai.
Kwani what happened? Ina mambo ya ajabu.
Mambo ni mingi.
Emily Racon final, yes, ni finally. Zipi asante sana ndio kuingia sasa. Felicitas Mutuku tupo site kama kawa. Asante sana.
I hope you had muted.
Hope is not a strategy. Mambo ni live.
Video yangu iko on. Dennis Somwa waiting, asante sana kwa kusubiri. Metro J, Merry Christmas Obize. Bosi wamekuisha, happy Merry Christmas. Kingston Ondiek, leo hakuna ako, kwani hujaona jamani? Yuko. Felicitas Mutuku. Lapama leo menweka parking. Oh, nimemsalimia ndo huyu. Atajibu tu. Atajibu, sawa. Usijali. Aya. Simtuambie mnatutizama mkiwa wapi. Watu wetu wa Mayolo. Mtupe salamu. Mtuambie mko wapi. Tumeni salamu na sehemu ambazo muko. Purity Kanana nasema iwake. Asante sana. Evans Dapaman live from Juja, salimia Oga Obinna. Asante sana watu wetu wa Juja. Tunawapenda saidi. Newton Onje, tunakupenda pia. Boss Lady tune in from Kapsabet Nandi. Watu wetu wa Nandi, asanteni sana. Aya. Paman salimia birthday girl. Birthday girl kwa sasa hatupo naye, ila amekuwa Miss Hamida bosi. Aya, sawa. Nitamwapea maelekezo. Nitampea hayo maneno. Dennis Somwa from Doha, Qatar. Asante sana Dennis Somwa. Zip watching from Nyahururu. Asante sana Abdi Ibrahim Namanga. Asante sana watu wetu wa Namanga, mubarikiwe sana. Kinyanjui Marwa, Dapaman from Sagana town. Asante sana watu wa Sagana. Emily tuned in from Kakuma, say hi to Bosi. Bosi hi. Morrison Wambush, Dapaman jana nilikilisho pale Mwiki. Asante sana. Vini live from kutoka kwa Vonza Kitui, say hi to Obinna. Bosi hi from Vini
Kwa Vonza.
Vonza. Jamani, tumeni salamu. Tujue mko nasi, mnatupata mkiwa wapi. Metro J watching live from nikiwa Habanos. Asante sana Metro J. Yobra Katelo watching live from Siaya. Salimia Bosi. Ako Siaya. Aya, Joyce Chela. Hi Joyce from Eldoret. Say hi to Baba Lola. Sawa, meskia. Dennis Somwa from Qatar. Say hi to your friends. Asante sana. Korir, Kevin, Davido, Nick, Sharon, Onesmus, Hotex, mumesalimiwa. Magi. Yeah, Happy Clara live from Ushago. Happy Clara Ushago iko aje? Lucy, Merry Christmas guys. Merry Christmas to you too. Aya, Mary Ngendo, hi Obinna. Ni blessed na hood ya Obinna Show. Aya, tuendelee jamani, tuendelee. Tumeni salamu, mtume Merry Christmas hapo chini. Nobel Del, match from where jamani? Mtoto wetu Mwachels locked in from Dubai, gotea crew ya nguvu. Sawa, crew ya nguvu umepewa salamu kutoka Dubai. Carol Cheplegat watching live from Kamulu. Asante sana watu wa Kamulu. LC Sydney watching live from Embu, gotea Bosi. Mmetuma sana, inabidi tu. Haya, nimepeana gota. Gichoku live from Nyeri, watu wa Nyeri asanteni sana mase. Asanteni sana mse wasem. Anasema mse wasem, uko wapi, uko pande gani, unatutisama unatusikiliza kama uko pande gani. Karanja Dennis, salimia mzae umwambie tunatazama kipindi. Asante sana.
Asukaribisha mgeni sasa.
Aya, sawa sawa. Cha tukaribisha sasa mgeni anaitwa mzee Joakim. Jambo.
Mzee?
Mkono jamani, nafinyanga Saidi.
Umesema mzee?
Haya, kijana. Mzee kijana. Jambo.
Jambo mingi.
Uko salama?
Niko kabisa.
Sasa mimi napendanga nikaribisha mgeni. Ana pay attention kiasi.
Yes. I will pay attention.
Kwa Facebook sana.
Just a minute.
Okay, sawa.
Done. Niambie nikusikie ndugu.
Hapo sasa.
Oh, my cap, my hat. My cap actually. Very nice. Niambie.
Karibu tena. Sio mara ya kwanza kukutizama hapa. Tena nimefurahia Saidi. Bila kuenda kwa maneno mingi, na watu wako wamekungoja hapa. Sasa naomba tu kimila. Tuko na maji fufutende, sarubati, soda ya Coca-Cola kama hii, Fanta, chai fupi na chai ndefu, bila kusahau expressway.
Maji.
Normal water. Okay, karibu sana Obinna Show live.
Thank you.
Sawa.
Mimi niko sawa. I'm okay.
Okay. Memaliza ile soda.
Wewe first of all nimesikia umechukua chapati zote. Rada?
Ati nimechukua chapati zote? Hapana.
Umechukua chapati ngapi?
Kwani zimeenda wapi?
Si wewe umechukua hivi.
Hizo zilikuwa zangu. Zenye nilikuwa nimeweka. Na hizo chapati hata sijakula. Nimeingia nayo hapa Sasa zikapotelea hapa.
Niliona Keva kula chapo.
Ndio hizo siku hizo ananitumia Saidi. David, hata in fact Keva amechukua tu kwa Davido. So uko sawa?
Mimi niko best.
Soda yako ya pale umeshamaliza? Shukran. Kumix nini?
Chenye unafanya inua juu roho unafanya nini? Just do exactly what you are doing. Do what you are doing. Umechukua Coca-Cola ya Bensol na Fanta yangu unachanganya.
Sasa unajua unasemanga vibaya ati nimechukua.
Okay, nimekupea.
Nimepea Fanta.
Na Bensol pia akakupea Coca-Cola yake.
Hajanipea hii. Aliwacha.
Okay. Changanya.
Aliwacha.
Changanya tu. Cocktail.
Mocktail. Cocktail ni iko na alcohol.
Okay. Ina taste aje? Naona picha zenyu na Sharon kama mmebebana. Natengeneza bomb. Usifungue kitu mbele ya nini wewe?
Unajua ni coke iko mix
sasa. Wewe.
Imepoa.
Songa simama na pale alafu fungue kwa umeface huko kando. Una shake coke hivyo na nini alafu nataka tu kufungua hivyo.
Ona venye inacheza ona.
Si ukunywe.
Utamu. Sasa soda ingekuanga hivyo mix. Hapo niko side.
Niko na mshene. Unajua? Munez na Bensol walisoma same school, same class.
Yes.
Munez huyu wetu na Bensol
Kwa shule moja.
Na Bensol akaenda mpaka UN amefanya civil engineering.
Shinda iko wapi kwa Munez?
Munez ni kama alifanya structural. Alikuwa anamvisha hizo nini sasa.
Sasa Bensol akafika US.
Si US, UN.
Oh, UN. UN.
Umejua UN ni wapi?
United States ama.
UN. Ujui UN?
UN.
Kabisa. Okay.
Sasa Munez alienda.
Hakuenda UN.
Alifika wapi?
Obinna Show live. Ndio tu nimeshaanza nakwambia. Nilikuwa nakwambia wamesoma na nani the same school.
Wasipio naleta mshene fupi kama biology ya chokoraje.
Ndatafuta ingine refu.
Unajua
Kama picha yenu na Sharon.
Sasa picha tena
iko kwa Facebook.
Nimepost tu lakini alafu sasa unajua
Davido, nikutumie. Ati no bosi, na ukipiga picha
boss sasa
nimebana. Ndio hiyo. Tuko wera.
Kwa tunapiga picha huko. Sasa bosi tena. Usikii tena ule Jerry tena. Tena amenunua iPhone. Sasa wacha C fold. Akona C fold na akona iPhone. Na tena akona pikipiki.
Jerry amenunua pikipiki.
Sony Link. Hapa.
Jerry amenunua pikipiki jo.
Yake hata si eti amehaya yake.
No wonder alikuwa amekuja nini? Unajua juzi ametudanganya mamake ni mgonjwa. Alafu kumbe ameenda kufanya kazi nyingine huko nini? Saida Migori.
Mimi naye aliniambia
Mbona amerudi na
kuna hospitali.
Hospitali nani mgonjwa?
Mamake.
No, mamake alikuwa mgonjwa, but sio mgonjwa yenye Jerry lazima angeenda mpaka Migori. So Jerry alitudanganya ameenda kubeba mamake ampeleke hospitali. But kumbe Jerry ameenda ku control. No, amerudi na mapesa. Sema iPhone, pikipiki.
iPhone alikuwa nayo last week ile. Amekuwa nayo.
Oh.
Sabonge la surprise me.
Senke. David umeke hiyo picha kwa screen? Ndio hizo sasa. Hiyo ni Dapaman na Sharon. Utajaribia skola. Haya.
Lakini
wewe leo mchezo mnacheza na Sharon hapa. Ndio mnakaa smart.
Okwangi sawa Davido. Hii sasa ona tupeko ya bosi basi.
Davido nianzishe kipindi. All right, welcome back to Obinna Show Live. Karibu sana, the last one, man. The last one for the road. We had to save the best for last. If you're just tuning in, you've missed Ben Sol. He was just here, man. He serenaded the ladies. Yeah. I love you like the sunshine in the morning. Bako naambiwa scent of love ukipika chai ya majani. Mambo ni mingi. All right, so Ben Sol was here. We also had Moesha K. Moesha K was also here. We had a very, very interesting conversation with her as well. You can go and catch up with that one. So don't worry, you're right on time for this particular one because we're going to be talking about the Singapore dream. So on Obinna Show Live, we like to bring inspirational and motivational conversations through the guests. And sometimes we just decide this is for education purposes only or entertainment. This one is going to be educational because the gentleman that I've brought today is known as Jack the Ripper. When he sits down, he spares nobody. He is from Safina Party. He goes by the name of Joakim. Yeye si mgeni nyumbani, lakini tunamkaribisha tena makofi kidogo pale. Yeah, karibu sana, karibu sana. How are you?
Very fine.
Uko mzima?
Kabisa.
Naona umeongeza simu nyingine sasa uko nazo mbili.
The economy keeps on improving.
Yeah? Why is the economy only improving in your pocket? Haitufiki?
Because I'm at the right place. Yes, and I am welcoming everywhere where I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Wewe hujaenda kuchukua nini huko? Hujaenda kuchukua affordable housing? Uliona venye zimelonchiwa pale moto sana.
You see?
Jinyakulie moja.
Who wants to live in a big government hostel?
Oh wow. Tumeanzia hapo. What do you mean hostel?
Isn't that a hostel? What's the difference?
See.
So unatolewa kwa nyumba ya mabati Bukuru. If that is happening, that is the case. Unawekwa on 11th floor. If that's not a hostel, then what is it?
It's not a hostel.
Then why launch a house? Then still people need 90 days to occupy it.
Si finalizing. Kwani ukusikia wakisema?
Why don't you finalize before? Kwani
schedule ya president na kwanga tight Joakim. Aki saa ingine Joakim. Yeah, even you guys give the president some grace surely.
grace?
See, you know president akwa na schedule tight. So ameongana, I'll not be around because maybe he's traveling somewhere, so let me do this one now. So when he gets 90 days, I already launched it. Alafu mambo inaendelea.
Did the Mukuru people move into the first lot of the launched houses? Did they? They were told they will move in after 10 days. So let's assume the president was also busy in the coming 10 days. So he had to launch it earlier. So he gives them 10 days. Did they move in? I know the character of Kenyans. Wakenya wako na tabia moja ya kurecord na kupost about their life.
Okay.
But somehow the ones that move into affordable housing, they stop that kind of behavior. Interesting. Ama namna gani?
Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, how have you been?
I've been okay.
Yes.
Very well. Siasa hapa na pale.
Safina mkwaje?
Tunaendelea fiti.
Bado munaokoa watu from the floods?
When Noah in the Bible said that it's coming to rain heavily, at that time it had never rained before.
Okay.
So the people of that time did not believe in what Noah was saying. Najua, the wetness used to come from under the ground, the dew. Hakukuwa na mvua at that time. Okay. So it was something that had never been experienced. So wakati Noah alikuwa anasema kutanyesha, even experts of that time said hapana, kutanyesha namna gani, it has never happened. So even this time we are saying it's coming to rain heavily. And some people are saying it has never happened. Some have profiled us to be prophets of doom. But we can assuredly say unto you, it's gonna rain. And when it rains, it pours.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw some video of your party leader. Sijui alikuwa mahali ni jana.
Saturday.
Ilikuwa Sato.
Yes.
What was happening?
In the church somewhere.
Yeah, there's some setup that looked like it was of karibu kai Bomas of Kenya vibe. Yeah, but I saw the priest tuko nyuma, so ilikuwa ni church. Nilimwona alikuwa amena maombi. In SDA.
That was an Anglican cathedral.
Okay. Barako mzima.
Salama sana.
Wakili ako aje?
Anaendelea vyema.
Pia ako fiti.
Ametuma salamu, just read his text here.
Yeah.
He's saying hi to all of us here.
Okay.
And sending greetings and wishing Kenyans a Merry Christmas. So I hope Kenyans have received the greetings from the incoming head of state and the party leader of Sofina Party.
Mwambie mkono mtupu
Haurambwi.
Yeye ni bilionea. Mambo gani anakutuma na risala za rambirambi? Kwa tuko matanga.
Sio risala. Sio risala.
Bwana Wajigi anatuma.
And on that note, and because you say this thing is for purposes of education.
Yes.
So let me educate Kenyans.
Okay.
Wanjigi's interest in running, it's not about himself. He has the capability to navigate the hard economic times of this country.
That part we know.
So his running is not about him. It's about us. Those of us when madawa zikikosekana kwa hospitali, we get affected. Those of us who have to depend on government services. So if, and this is a problem that I am getting in most of the people who have interest in becoming party members or coming close. Everyone tells you, naweza ona boss. Ukimuuliza, what's the agenda?
Niko na kashida fulani.
Nataka kuanzisha podcast. Naweza ona boss, what's the agenda? Najua nataka ni support hapa. No. We want people who believe that change can be achieved.
Okay.
And we have a lot of choices in the market. There are people who are giving instant solutions to your small problems. Napewa, naliona Mbeere wakati wa by election, napewa lollipop, sukuma wiki na nyanya. Naona Oscar Sudi nakupatia lita 3 ya mafuta, nakupatia unga ya mandazi. Hata kama Kenyatta haina reagents za kufanya lab checks, unapewa mafuta ukule. Ukiumwa na tumbo ujue mahali utaenda, because there are no medicine in the hospital. So there are those kinds of people. For us, we are saying, hey, this country is not going the right direction. We have to come together as Kenyans and change everything. But sasa, mtu anasema, hey, bana. So someone calls me from Busia. Bana mutumi Christmas. Hey. Okay, sema. Ni kwa siasa usemangi hatutumi. Utakuwa umechoma. Sema tunatuma bwana, tutatuma kesho. Kidogo the other one in Embo. So I don't want to speak badly because I depend on Kenyans to help me in this journey. Lakini watu wengine wana behave ni kama we are a Red Cross. We are a political party out here to help us attain power and lead a country to the right direction.
So in short, yote 9-10 Joakim amesema hao kama Safina Party msingoje waambie mama wapange line. Ni fire si fire? Nipe mbwekse. Yeah, so wamesema muache kungoja, mkifikiria mtaambiwa mupange line, is not gonna happen. All right. Lakini sasa hao ni hao, lakini sisi ukikuja hapa na risala za Birambi, hakukutuma na kitu. Hakutuma na kitu.
Si ananiona, angekuwa amenituma na kitu. Siwezi ruka.
Mwambie anafanya mbaya.
He's watching live actually.
Mheshimiwa unafanya mbaya. Wewe vijana wako. Hebu pan kwa daba man, kamera ikikuja nataka kufanya. Sawa. Haya, vijana wako wanateseka. Ona venye wengine wako pale hatujakula mwezi moja. Ndio hiyo.
Huyu hajakula miezi 4.
Haya, rudisha kamera huku. Sikwame atamaliza kuion. Rudi hata smile. Rudisha kamera huku. Sasa hao ni part of wale vijana tunang'ang'ana nao hapa na ni njaa tu inatusumbua. Ukitupatia 5,000,000 sio mbaya. Tutagawana hiyo 500 shillings halafu 4.5. What join chama wakitoa 5,000,000. Haya, director pale amesema ukitoa 5,000,000 atajoin Safina Party. Mambo ni live. Anyway, a story for another day. So, the reason why I invited you specifically today,
Yes.
so we can talk about the Singapore dream.
Yes.
The president has sort of changed the tune of his communication. Right now, he's not so much into the bottom up or the hustler narrative. He's into Singapore, making Kenya better, making Kenya look better, feel better, achieve better, is what he's been communicating most of the time. And these were terminologies that were referenced before during Kibaki's time as well. And Singapore that he's talking about is not something that is not achievable. It's achievable because Singapore in itself achieved it. And they were, in fact, even more poorer than that we are. Okay? Lee Kuan Yew.
I want to read you a post I made the day Abraham Kithure Kindiki was sworn into office.
Okay. You did a post?
I did a post on my Facebook. I told you I make a very accurate peek into the future.
Okay.
I wonder where.
Find it. So while he's finding it, the video, there were some videos of our president talking about the Singapore dream. Drop them like it's hot.
Watu wenye imani Kenya hii ni wachache. Watu wengi ni touting Thomases. Wakisikia kitu hapo wanasema haiwezekani. Wanasikia ile wanasema haiwezekani. Wengine walitukejeli. Hata wengine wakatufanyia maandamano. Lakini leo we are seeing affordable housing is changing the skyline of Kenya. This first world will be a reality in our lifetime. And we are moving unhindered. We are not being sidetracked. Hatuwezi kupotea njia wakati mahali tunaenda. Kesho tunapitisha hazina maalum ya National Infrastructure Fund ambaye tutatumia kuokota pesa shilingi trilioni 5 ya kubadilisha hii nchi. And we are not joking. My friends, hii nchi hii lazima ibadilike. Tumechelewa kubadilisha Kenya. Tumechelewa kufukuza umaskini. Tumechelewa kufukuza njaa. Hii nchi inaweza kubadilika. Kama watu wa Singapore walibadilisha kwao, wa Korea walibadilisha kwao, wa Malaysia walibadilisha kwao, sisi tutabadilisha kwetu. By 2055, by God's grace, this nation will be a first world country. We have the human capital, we have the resources, we have the plan, and we have the vision. It's going to take us the same time Korea did, Singapore did, China did. In just 30 years, they managed to move their countries from third world to first world.
All right, so those are some of the...
This is the same person who stood in front of the nation and said In 6 months' time, the stadium in Kamarinyi will be complete. In another couple of months' time, the stadium in Wote, in Machakos, will be complete. In another couple of months' time, the stadium in Eldoret will be complete. Instead of 5 stadia, we are actually going for 9. This is the same
Joakim, we get the point. It's fine. It's fine. Let's proceed.
You know, it is good that I jog your memory
so that are very fresh.
So that you do not forget who is speaking. You know, however good the deal is, that's why in marketing, one of the things you need to keep on knowing is know your customer. Ukishajua your customer, you can tell whether unagongwa ama deal ni legit. I'm still looking for what I posted the day they announced that they swore Kithure Kindiki into office. Pole tu, because I think I had done a screenshot, but imepotea. You see, that person speaking that video is the same person who stood at Bomas of Kenya when he was signing an economic charter with the women and said, my government will import 8,000 to 10,000 tractors that will be distributed across the country to help women till their land. It's the same person. This is the same person mwenye alituambia in the next 3 months mutungi ya gas hii munanunua shilingi 3,000, sasa mutakuwa munanunua na 500. Wakati aliulizwa akasema sikusema gas, nilisema mutungi. This is the same person mwenye alisema mahindi itatoka Mexico ikuje Kenya, ikakuja na wiki mbili, ikakuja na siku mbili. Watu kuuliza Mexico to Kenya mahindi siku mbili, akasema sikusema Mexico, nilisema maize iko. It's the same person. So before we even speak of the things we are speaking of today, can we please understand who is that person that is saying these things? And again, you need to understand who is his target audience. Why is it that there is no bottom up? Bottom up was meant for another audience. Let me explain that before I come. Niko karibu kuipata. The bottom up economic model, the way they call it, was meant for a whole different set of people. By that time, the president was eyeing the votes in Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya people are business people. So unawambia wewe mama mboga huyu, wewe mtu ya kuuza kioski, huyu beba, hata wewe mtu ya kuuza maziwa, sasa tutatoka hapa bottom, tuende up. Mtu ya kibanda ya mboga, atakuwa na supermarket. Mtu ya supermarket, atajenga kampuni. Mtu ya kampuni, atajenga mingi. It's a language that resonated with Mount Kenya because they are business people. Singapore is a big word. Meant for who? Where is the president eyeing, spending most of his time?
Nyanza.
Yes. So do you get it now? How do you get the people of Nyanza to listen to you? What is their character? You speak big things. Unaenda Nyanza unawaambia Siaya. Hapa Siaya tutajenga a nuclear power plant. Luo akisikia nuclear power plant. It's a big name, big ambitions. Tutaenda Singapore. It's a whole different audience. So if there is any Kenyan who still believes that the things we are being taught will happen, then William Ruto is not a problem. The problem is the people who are believing that it will actually happen. I'm not saying it cannot. I'm only saying not under President Ruto. Because once these countries are mentioned, it's only natural that you try and have a look at these countries that are being mentioned. And I spent some time and I looked at Singapore, I looked at Norway, I looked at Iceland, I looked at Qatar. How did Singapore come to where it is today? One, they declared corruption an enemy of the state. That when you are corrupt, you are an impediment to the growth of the country. How do they punish it? They make it so severe that ukisikia unakuwa suspected of corruption, you can even commit suicide because of the humiliation. They will even take away what you got legitimately. Hata bibi yake akisikia Obinna amekuwa corrupt anakuambia mimi nakuacha. Kama wewe unakuwa namna hiyo, I don't want my children to suffer. Two, national ethics, values, to love your country, to make sure that you grow your country. And Lee Kuan Yew understood that for you to grow your country, you need the best brains on the table to help you come up with a model that can actually help that country. So how do you make use of the good brains of the country? You make sure that they are not thinking about other things like food, other things like health, and source of employment. So you take care of the basics first. That as a country, you do not wake up in the morning with 22 million people thinking about how they will feed themselves. Very small things. Before we even start dreaming of becoming any other world, can we manage the world that we are in today? It is good that we dream of becoming first world or whatever they are calling it. But have we managed the third world? Today, parents are struggling taking their children to school. And after they take their children to school, your child graduates to be a JSS teacher. They are told to be interns for 2 years, being paid 17,000. Pesa ya waiter hapa hoteli ya Moi Avenue. So such are the things that you take care of. And what does Singapore have that they leveraged on? One, a strategic position between Asia and Europe. Another thing, good weather in their country. I'm told it rains an hour every day in the afternoon. And they are like an island. So they decided to be, I don't know how to call it, goods that are imported by Asian countries from Europe. They import them in bulk, take them to Singapore, then they subdivide them. They provide economies of scale, that it becomes cheaper for Japan to import their goods from Singapore than going to Germany. And therefore, most Asian countries went for goods in Singapore. Singapore imports in bulk. Ikifika Singapore, ile inaenda Japan inaenda, ile inaenda China inaenda, ile inaenda Taiwan. So they leveraged on that. They sell ideas. Ideas are what they sell. So that's how they developed to become the country that it is today. Let us come back home. What do we have as a country? What is the plan for us to become a better country than we are today? I have not seen a solid plan. And therefore, there is need to interrogate what you are being told. The president is telling us that the naysayers are saying that haiwezekani. We are not saying haiwezekani. Tunasema inawezekanaje. Kuna difference. Haiwezekani na inawezekanaje. The how is not coming out clearly. Iyo fund yenye anasema, infrastructure fund, that is targeting 5 trillion. Ndugu yangu, our budget of the country per year is 4.3 trillion. And our taxes cannot raise it. We raise like 2.5. We have to borrow 1 trillion every year to finance our budget. Then someone is telling us we are going to raise 5 trillion. From where? You know, it's common sense. That's why I get flabbergasted when a seemingly sane person in their right senses shouting 2 term. Kama tunakopa 1 trillion every financial year, how are we going to raise 5 trillion? It's not pocket change. Every year this country produces like 2.5, 2.6 at most. Our budget is 4 trillion plus, which means we have to go borrow 1 trillion so that we can finance the shortfall. Then someone is telling us we are going to now get some money to put it in the infrastructure fund. Let me give you an example. Tunaenda Norway, tukikuja, alafu tunarudi. Norway bado wako na a similar fund. Inaitwa Global Pension Fund for Norway. It's a fund that is similar to what we have, infrastructure fund and the sovereign wealth fund. For Norway, how did they finance their fund? From money that they got from oil and gas. That apart from the taxes of the Norwegians, they had some other source of revenue from oil and gas. The money they get from oil and gas is what they invest in the fund for strategic investments. The money they have invested, not more than 3% can be recouped back to the national budget. And who are the people managing this fund? It is the arm of the Central Bank of Norway that is managing the fund with clear transparency, professional and prudent management of what they are getting. From 1996 up to today, the fund is worth 2.4 trillion US dollars, according to the financial year 2024-2025. This is Norway with a similar fund. Where did they get the money? Oil and gas. Singapore has a similar fund. Now, how did they finance it? From what we call fiscal surplus and non-commodity revenue. Fiscal surplus. For example, I have mentioned this country has a budget of 4.3 trillion. Now, let's say, for example, as a country, we generated revenue of 7 trillion. Now, after taking care of our budget, we still have some 2 or 3 trillion that we can therefore invest as a country. so that we can now recoup in more money to help the country move forward and provide services for the people. Fiscal surplus. That's what they use to fund their fund. A non-commodity revenue. The services that they offer. I told you Singapore offers, they sell ideas. And then you come and do it from there, you pay them, and you use Singaporeans as your labor force. Qatar has a similar fund. Where do they get the money to finance it? From oil and gas, also in Qatar. It is worth 2.5 USD. Apart from the taxes that the Qataris pay, there is an extra source of revenue in oil and gas to finance the fund. They have invested out there. And the Qataris have confidence in the leadership that they have because they can see the services. In this country, the biggest government hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital, today in the papers, it has no reagents in the labs. Basic, important things. There is no medicine. Doctors have to come up with other sources of income on the side to survive. Ndugu yangu, madaktari ndio wanafaa kuwa wana enjoy. A doctor should not even think of beginning another services. That job alone. I'm of the view that a degree in medicine is the hardest degree. Haufai kuwa na survive huko nje. These are pitting problems that we have not sorted as a country. But somehow, someone is telling us that miraculously we are going to become some country. Alisema mwenyewe Wakenya wajinga waliisha Kenya. But he's behaving like wajinga sasa ni wengi. Sasa mimi kama Joakim ni support mambo kama hii at Singapore. I had said I will not talk about Singapore when I come here, but there is need that I tell Kenyans to understand. Unajua all these things, and I can see from the trends of social media, some Kenyans are thinking from their tribal lines. Let me say it clearly here. Thinking on a tribal line is the biggest stupid thing you will ever do. Accusing of another tribe of the absence of resources in your own tribe is the biggest stupid thing. Because these politicians who are cultivating this tribal narrative, they do not practice tribalism themselves, among themselves. If you are a Luo, you hate a Kikuyu. In that sense that Kikuyus didn't support Baba. Now look at Baba himself. How did he treat Kikuyus? How was his relationship was? His longest serving personal lawyer is Paul Mwangi. Paul Mwangi does not come from Siaya. He comes from Mount Kenya.
Best friend is SK Mashari.
His best friend, who has made sure that wherever Raila is, citizen camera is there, is SK Mashari. The person who gave Raila money to survive in Ford, Kenya, 1995 Thika Stadium, when he was fighting with Wamalwa Kijana, he went and borrowed money, 40,000 from Nginyo Kariuki in 1995. Why didn't he borrow it from Ambala? So once you think from your tribal narrative, you are being a fool. The other day I saw somebody, a seemingly intelligent person, akisema Ndindi Nyoro alikuwa anatumia pesa akiwa chairman wa budget committee kupeleka cabros in Kiharu. Ndindi Nyoro was a chairman for budget and appropriations committee. He cannot make a unilateral decision. And being that this is a parliamentary committee, any decision that comes out of that committee, the Speaker of the National Assembly has to append his signature on that. And that committee has people from all the political parties. So if you don't interrogate the statements of these politicians, you're most likely going to lose it. Can we stick to the agenda? Reason to vote. Reason to vote, if you're going to vote on the line of tribe, you have already lost.
Umepoteza direction.
Mapema. So hii maneno ya Singapore kwanza toa kwa akili. Kwanza tumalizane na hapa.
Okay. While we're talking about the Singapore dream, there's a couple of ideas the president also has for making the money.
Yes.
Pesa umesema hatuna. Another one that was even spoken about, we have privatization of state assets. And someone spoke about it. Do you have the video of the
privatization
of state assets, like akina Kenya Pipeline Company,
Safaricom? Tuanze na Safaricom yenye wanataka kuuza kesho. Safaricom wanataka kuuza. And let me tell you the real reason why they want to sell Safaricom shares. It's because they do not have money to pay their debt. And they cannot come with another tax. It will lead to another 2024 situation. So how do you raise money without a lot of questions? You sell your assets. And you sell the most profitable ones because they are easily sellable. So you start with Safaricom shares. And you know they are selling the shares at a discount of 15%. I can tell you that a discount is not a discount. Someone is pocketing the 15%. Alafu anakuambia, now after selling, they will put it in these funds. Sindio? The sovereign wealth fund. Who are the people that are going to be the directors of sovereign wealth fund? Proceeds of selling, privatizing parastatals and state assets is a revenue. The revenue of the country should come to the consolidated fund, not coming up with other special funds. When it goes to the consolidated fund, it will now be budgeted based on priority by Parliament. That the money we have in the consolidated fund right now can only be used to go to education or health, because that is the need for now. Coming up with a special fund and saying that the proceeds of privatizing these state assets will go to these funds is against the law in Chapter 206. These funds that they have created, the Auditor General cannot audit them. Parliament cannot be included in the budgeting. We cannot oversee them. How is transparency? How do we even be sure that the money in these funds will be used for the intended purpose? But I have already told you the main reason why they are selling state assets is so that they can pay debt. Ndugu yangu, the last quarter of the year, from July to November, revenue generated across the country was 900 billion, 906 billion for 3 months. Do you know how much we paid? We used to pay debt for the same period of time.
Wait, the revenue was 900?
Billion.
Billion.
Yes.
Okay. This is 3 months.
Yes.
Pay debt?
865 billion.
Si imeisha jamani.
So imebaki
Hapo ni
41 billion. So we use 95% of our revenue to pay
the
debt.
debt.
So we have 5% to run government programs. Do you now understand why he has to sell assets? Does the government acknowledge that we have a problem of debt?
So what you're saying is basically we can't sustain ourselves.
Yes, we are running a fuliza economy.
Ni kuchukua huku tuweke huku, tuchukue huku tuweke
The
huku.
perfect example is this. Umekopa na laini yako mpaka imejulikana huwezi kopa tena. Sasa una register laini ingine. Sasa unaambia mtu,
Wow.
usinitumie kwa hiyo laini, nimeregister hii ingine, ngoja nikutumie.
So this is what we are doing as a government.
So the consolidated fund ni laini yako yenye haiwezi kopa tena, iko na deni kubwa. So wameregister laini ingine, sovereign wealth fund na infrastructure fund. Fuliza, na ili uamini ni fuliza, kwa kuprivatize shares za Safaricom wameuza hadi dividends zenye wangechukua for 15 years. So wamebaki na shares 20%. The dividends yenye wange collect for the next 15 years wamechukua leo. Why is it that the government inafuliza dividends? Wewe umewahi ona hiyo? Alafu mnataka tukae hapa tukipiga story ya one term na two term. Ndugu yangu.
Me by the way, normally ukikam kwa hii show mimi unanipatianga stress. You always leave me more depressed than I am.
Kenyans are not angry enough. And I'm not saying that they should be, but they need to be angry because what is happening is total robbery, daylight robbery. You know, we've been focusing on the corruption where government misuses revenue that has already been collected in the expenditure. That's the corruption that we have been focusing on. That this glass actually costs 200 shillings, but it is inflated to 10,000. That's the only corruption we talk about. There is another form of corruption that even what we declare to have collected is false. Let me make you more depressed. Uhuru miaka yake 10 in the government alipata deni 1.8 trillion kutoka kwa Kibaki. Yeye kwa miaka 10 in government, total expenditure of government for 10 years was 14.8 trillion. Aya, total tax revenue for the 10 years was 13.5 trillion. So wewe ume collect tax ya 13.5, but you need 4.8. So which means you have a shortfall of 1 point something trillion. Sindio? So how much do you need to borrow?
Just about that number.
1 trillion. How much did he borrow? 8.
Uhuru
Yeah.
borrowed 8 trillion.
Yes.
For what?
The biggest question in the room. For what? Unakumbuka Raila akileta shida na Eurobond ya 2014? That is where the rain started beating us. Huyu muungwana wetu mwenye anasema in 20 years time we will be Singapore. Huyu mmoja akasema mambo ya madeni niulizeni mimi. 2014, you can look for that clip. I am the deputy, I'm in charge. That Raila Odinga at that time was an economic saboteur. Wakati alikuwa anauliza mambo ya Eurobond. So Uhuru alikopa trilioni 8. He needed just 1. He borrowed 8. Now let me make you more shocked. In that same period of time, in his own admission, President Uhuru, he paid 5.6 trillion to debt. So we are remaining with approximately 3 trillion to pay. Sindio? Uhuru, ndugu yetu William Ruto anaingia 2022.
Ngoja, pause kidogo. Uhuru paid 5.6 trillion.
Yes.
To who?
To the lenders, according to him.
But our debt here is about 1 point something.
Okay. Wacha nikae vizuri. Muungwana wetu alipata 1.8 trillion. Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes, kutoka kwa Obaka.
Kwa Kibaki. Yeye akakopa 8. Wacha turudi nyuma.
Nimekupata.
Akakopa 8.
So ukiongeza hii 8 kwa ile 1.8, ile bado ni deni, si ndio?
Yes, hiyo bado ni deni.
Okay,
so inakuja 9 point something.
9.8.
Yes. But he paid 5.6.
Okay.
Which should now reduce the debt
to around 3 point something.
3 point something. Less than 4 trillion.
Okay.
Now, so we are done with the regime of Uhuru.
Yes.
In our calculation, tunafaa kuwa na deni ya 4 trillion.
Yeah, mikisonga sana.
Ndugu ya Singapore akaingia. Akapiga kelele mingi. Hey, we found empty coffers. Gachagua akatuambia hata mende asikuwa kwa hiyo maneno tulipata. Sema okay. Hey. Mlipata deni ya pesa ngapi? Aya. Deni kubwa kabisa. Pesa ngapi? 8.8 trillion. 8.8. My party leader, Jimmy Wanjigi, is the first person to ever appear in public and say, hey, we have a problem of debt here and we might just default. Alisema akiwa Spice FM. Wakasema, hey, prophet of doom. Now ndugu yetu ya Singapore, for the 3 years, amekuwa kwa kiti, amekopa 3.5 trillion. Ukiongeza kwa deni yenye alipata kwa Uhuru, inakuja 12 point something.
12.3.
12.3. Sasa kizungumukuti inakujia hapa. Ndugu yetu ya Singapore bado anasema in the 3 years he's been in office, he's been able to pay 4.6 trillion to debt. Watu watachanganyikiwa leo washangae. So are we really going to Singapore? Ama tumeenda Kawangware?
Ngoja, amelipa 4.6.
Yes. Hapa tunaenda Singapore ama Kawangware ndugu yangu. Hata Ouagadougou za iko na Burkina Faso iko na President wa Burkina Faso anaitwa nani? Traore, yes. You know, Ouagadougou has been the most organized, disorganized city in Africa. But sasa hivi wako na Traore, they are cruising nicely.
So if we've paid 4.6, then why are we borrowing 3.5?
That's actually not the right question. The right question is, if we have paid 4.6 trillion, why is the debt still 12?
God, the debt is still 12.
Yes. What is the current status of the national debt? 12.5. Napendanga ukigoogle ndio unapata msema kweli. Acha mimi pia niingie ninunue bundles ukigoogle. Ndio Wakenya wakikasirika nikuwe hapa. Alafu naambiwa bado tunaenda Singapore. Hapa tuko Kangemi. So as you go to vote in 2027, don't think about anyone else. Think about yourself. Aya, mashini ya chapati ililetwa ama bado tunaenda Singapore ndo tuipate?
Tuko Christmas.
Si tuko Christmas, tunafaa kuwa tumepata chapati milioni 1. Ama hiyo pia inakuja in 6 months time. Unajua ni kama Ruto anasomanga post zangu, anapata idea, anakuja kuwaambia. Ngoja niwaonyeshe mahali alitoa idea ya Singapore. Niliposti hii kitu kitambo sana.
So according to Google, the Kenya national debt is over 11.5 trillion. That is around 92.6 billion USD.
Yes.
As of mid to 2025, reaching record highs amid fiscal pressures.
Over 11.5. The exact, ungeenda kwa website ya Kenya National Treasury, ikuambie the exact date of, we are going up to 13. Before the year ends, I think we will be there. Given the zeal from our ndugu to borrow, we will be there. So, that's why we are saying that as a party, the first thing we do when we get in office is to suspend all debt payment, pending an audit. Have you seen anyone oppose that we have no problem of debt?
No.
Even Badi admits. Sasa kama hiyo nilikuambia tulicollect 906 for 3 months. Tukalipa deni ya 800. Do you know how much money we use per month to pay salaries in government?
Bungoja, you know, nimeingia kwa website ya Treasury. So nikapa kwa public debt management office. We owe a lot of people. Let me just mention a few. Abu Dhabi Fund for Arab Econ Cooperation, Agency, another near France,
Yes.
French. We have Deutsche Bank Espanola, we have Exim Bank USA, Exim Bank India, Exim Bank of China, Government of Poland, Government of Austria, Government of Belgium, Government of China, Government of Denmark, Government of Finland, Government of France, Government of Italy, Government of Japan, Government of Saudi Arabia, Government of United States, Government of Federation Republic of Germany, Instituto de Credito Kingdom of Spain, KCB Bank, we even know KCB Bank, Korea Economic, we have Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development, Saudi Development Fund, Unicred.
So heri wa Kenya kuliko serikali yao. Serikali ya Kenya imekopa kila mahali.
Yani we owe all
Ni
of
kama
these
uko na
people.
Tala, uko na Zenka, uko na Fuliza, uko na so
We?
ndugu yangu, we have a very big problem. Yes, this is the post I made. It was on November 2nd, 2024.
Umeipata?
And I think this is where our president got the idea of Singapore. You remember that time hakuna mtu alikuwa anaongelea Singapore. Nilisema, hello comrades. I could be late, but let me see this opportunity. Don't worry about English.
Sound imeisha battery. Mbu fix. Naweza nitumia that screenshot?
Yes, yes.
Send it to me so we put it on the screen.
Hii screenshot, acha nifanye tu sahi. Ama muende tu kwa page yangu haraka haraka.
Hataipata kama wewe umeitafuta hivyo. Wewe mwenyewe umeitafuta hivyo. Hawataipata aje?
Mambo ni mingi
Sana. Things are many.
It's long. Screenshot itaikata.
Yes, una screenshot mara mbili ya Joakim.
Oh, no, I'm not a tech savvy person.
Yes, una screenshot mara mbili. Half.
I'm not a tech savvy person, ndugu yangu.
Mimi unakujanga hapa na hizi vitu zako unanipea pressure. Naona tuko pali pazuri, unakuja unaniambia. Alafu so unajua the good thing about your explanation, it is slowed down vizuri. Una explain nini, mtu ana understand vizuri. And then you're saying it with a smiling face, ni kama pia uko kwa hii shida. Unaona Dindi Nyoro akisema, unamwona akismile. Dindi anaizemanga pale mpaka mnatoka hapo mmekathirika na yeye.
I have my guy on the other side. Nimeforwardia wewe screenshot ya kwanza. Ya pili ndio hii. Telling Makuja. So,
The video ya pili utacrop hapo chini. Ameipata.
Naweza isoma. Bas, so that Kenyans can see where Kasongo is getting ideas. Very important.
Tusome.
I must make sure that I used a bit of sarcasm, so
Okay.
people should not take it literally. Hello, comrades. I could be late, but let me seize this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude and boundless joy in celebrating Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki for his swearing in as the third Deputy President of Kenya. This was a historic event and a Damascus moment for our country. Kindiki's deputy presidency was the only missing piece in making Kenya the new Singapore. In making our infrastructure great, it was the only missing piece in curbing corruption and bringing transparency in government. The only missing piece in bringing order in our security sector and making abductions and extrajudicial killings a thing of the past. With Kindiki as the deputy president, the new university funding model will be streamlined to accommodate reality in the students' needs. The controversy surrounding SHA will be clarified to spur growth in the health sector. The Adani shenanigans won't be tolerated under his watch. He is the leader so visionary and pragmatic enough to take Kenya far in the right direction. We will soon be boasting. Uluya imetokea hapa. We will soon be boasting of being the most powerful economy in Africa and beyond. Hurrah! Welcome to the new Singapore.
If you didn't say this was sarcasm, mafans wako walichukuliaje kwa comment section first?
Let me check.
Wali understand?
Majority of Kenyans are clever enough, and I was lucky to get just 37 comments. The first one was very angry, saying this, you are a candidate for Mathare Patient Hospital. Mwingine akasema, sahau bro, anyway in sarcasm. Remember Kindiki oversaw killings of Gen Z. And wengine walikuwa wanagombana tu, wale waliona ni sarcasm na wale walidhani I am praising Kindiki. So, you remember that time, Gachagua was being impeached and it was being told that Gachagua is the reason why Ruto is not performing.
Yeah, he's been hindering.
Yes, so I was...
Been drilling holes in the boat.
Yes, so I was being sarcastic about the Gachagua, the Kindiki appointment. And I mentioned Singapore there, because that is what has been mentioned around the country as our standard of comparison. So ndugu yangu, the only thing that will help us get out of all these problems is what we are supporting, we are proposing as Safina Party. The president has been asking, what is the agenda? Safina Party, we have the feast agenda.
Now it shows up.
The feast agenda is an antidote.
Pause. Unaenda kuniambia hiyo feast agenda ni nini? Wacha kwanza niongee na watu wangu kwanza. Ndio tukuje kwa feast agenda. Hiyo ndo title and you picked that title specifically. I was like, feast? What's the feast? Ni fast. Hata watu wanasema, umeandika fast vibaya, ni fast agenda, si nini? So I want to break down what the feast agenda is that now will make us into Singapore.
The feast agenda?
It ought to make into Singapore, senior?
No.
Oh, okay. So
we are not going anywhere. We are just here.
Okay. So while that is happening, I just want to let you know that if you are in the diaspora and Christmas is happening, probably you did not manage to come because mambo ni mingi. You can still be part of Christmas even if you are not here. How can that happen? You see your family that is here, do for them something nice. Send mom to the shop, to the supermarket, to that wholesale shop, wherever it is that they want to go, whether it is even to a restaurant or somewhere nice for Christmas, then pay directly to the pay bill courtesy of Lemfi. Yes, now you can do that. Maybe kutuma pesa kwa simu imekuwa mambo ni mingi, nimekuwa natuma sijui ninafanyika. Now you can send directly to the pay bill or the till number courtesy of Lemfi. Check this out. All right, so there you have it. You can still bring Christmas to your people down here, even if you're not here, and they will feel like you're here because you're part of the family, and they really do value your presence and your contribution to the family. So do that. Use Lemfi today. Use my code Obinna to get some cash back immediately to your bank account. Yes, unaingia hivi unalipa ding ding, na pia unapata tu pesa tena imerudi na kukwambia thank you so much for using Lemfi. Use my code Obinna for the cash back.
So guys, we are in Kitengela and we are starting something very beautiful, something that we've not done before. Look at it. We are selling a project that has got an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a beautiful school next to us, and just look behind me. We have a beautiful clubhouse. What we've done is we are still on the ground. Look at the kind of houses that our customers have built. Yeah, wonderful houses. This is a new customer building, and about 85% of clients have built. Just imagine that 2.49 can give you a gated community with a clubhouse and a school already operating within the community, and the beacons are clear. Come on a piece of this. What will you be waiting for at only 2.49? And this can only be from Hyssop Properties, Culture of Trust. Well, this is called Palm Ridge by Hyssop Properties, and it's wonderful. God bless you.
Wow, are your walls looking plain and uninspired? Transform your space with premium wall panels, elegant marble PVC with stunning backlighting, and modern floating TV stands. All designed to give your home a luxurious, timeless finish. At Mr. Frames Kenya, we offer top quality designs at unbeatable prices. Whether you're going to a classic or modern look, we've got the perfect solution for your home or office. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0705 759 102 or connect with us on social media. Mr. Frames Kenya. Mr. Frames Kenya, where style meets affordability.
Anakaa weak. Like weak.
Ukiangalia mtu anaweza nibeba kweli. Azinanipin kwa ukuta vizuri. Hawezi?
Mbona ukuta? Si kuna nini?
Na mimi nataka niweke kwa ukuta.
It's okay. For you look weak, it's okay. I hate this mediocrity of women judging men according to how they can perform in bed, whether they can carry them or not. Secondly, I love a woman who can speak good English, because I don't want my children to be raised by a mongoloid. Understand me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are having Joakim himself in the house from the Safina party. Where? Boy, does he have receipts for days. We, kuna ka video kengine hapa nilikuwa nataka ucheze Joakim aone kwanza. Umeipata? Hebu finya hiyo video Joakim aone hapo na asikie chenye president amesema. Unaona Joakim sengine anajifanyanga ni kama asikie ni president anasemanga.
Your Excellency, mimi ni wale wanasema ya kwamba watu wanasema ati tusiuze assets. Mimi nakuambia Your Excellency, kama mjumbe wa Thika Mama Simba, uza zote tutengeneze mabarabara. Hata ukiwa kwa nyumba, ukiwa uko na shida, mtu huwa anashika ile ako nayo, anasaidia nyumba yake. Wewe kama rais wa Kenya, ukisikia Safaricom tuuze, tunauza. Ukisema pipeline tuuze, tunauza. Ndio sisi watu wa kutoka Thika, watu wa Roiro, watu wa Juja, watu wa Gatondo North, ututengeneze expressway, biashara zetu zifunguke. Biashara zetu zifunguke. Your Excellency,
watu wenye imani Kenya hii ni wachache. Watu wengi ni touting Thomases. Wakisikia kitu hapo wanasema haiwezekani. Wanasikia ile wanasema haiwezekani. Wengine walitukejeli. Hata wengine wakatufanyia maandamano. Lakini leo we are seeing affordable housing is changing the skyline of Kenya. This first world will be a reality in our lifetime. And we are moving unhindered. We are not being sidetracked. Hatuwezi kupotea njia wakati mahali tunaenda.
Doubting Thomas, how are you?
Given the facts I've told you,
yes,
apart from the political rhetoric, sloganeering,
okay,
name dropping, underneath there is a simmering problem that cannot be managed. And we have to admit that we have an unimaginable, unmanageable situation here. Because even listening to the lady in the video, I should refer to her as honorable, but she has proved to be very dishonorable. She's saying that hata mtu akiwa na shida anashikanga ile ako nayo, anauza ajisaidie.
Yes.
So the bottom line here is that we have a problem, and the only way out of this problem is to sell what we have. Sindio?
Watengeneze expressway.
So shida ya Gatundu North, vile amesema ule madam, ni expressway ndio itafungua biashara huko. I wonder if that even makes sense. Out of the total budget of the country, after paying debt, we remain with 160 billion in a year. Per year, according to the Minister of Treasury, John Badi, we spend 900 billion to pay salaries in a year. So we do not have money to even put petrol in the police vehicles. That's why Murkomen anakuja anasema polisi wakikuomba mafuta patia yeye. Kwa sababu we have a problem here. Apart from 900 billion to pay salaries, we need another 700 for government operations. We need another 500 for counties. Where does that explain why we are still borrowing more? Umenemo hapo countries zenye tumeboro. Nearly every well-doing country inatudai. Tuko karibu kwenda kukopa Burkina Faso.
Uganda.
Museveni, let me lend money to Kenyans. They have a problem.
Yes, we do.
So,
yes, we do.
The question is, now that the situation here cannot be managed by how President Ruto is speaking, and they are moving unhindered, they are so unhindered. They are so hindered. And let me tell you how they are hindered. A month ago, 1.5 months ago, the government came to an agreement with the lecturers that they will be given 3.6 billion. 1 month. Mpaka leo hawajapewa. Deadline in elapse date 31st.
Mwezi hajaisha.
Do you know why hawajapewa? Because kupata hiyo 3.6 billion ni ngumu. In the budget, labda wauze Safaricom, which we will not allow them. Na wacha nikwambie kitu, wakifaulu kuuza Safaricom, next stop Kenya Pipeline Corporation. Wakifaulu kuuza Kenya Pipeline Corporation, next stop Kenya Ports Authority. Wakifaulu kuuza Kenya Ports Authority, next stop ni KenGen, Kenya Power, EPRA. In our village setup, mahali tumetoka, ukiona jirani anauza sofa, apeleke mtoto shule, what does that say?
Ni kubaya.
Ni kubaya. Ukiona jirani ameshika ng'ombe yake yenye wanga anakamua watoto wake wakikunywa maziwa, anaenda nayo kwa soko, it says that they say that when you see a person with a pregnant goat in the market selling it, the problem at home is more pregnant than the goat. So we are selling all our pregnant goats. And why sell Safaricom? Because it's easily sellable. Why are we selling? Because we have to pay debt. But huwezi ambia wa Kenya unataka kulipa deni. Watakuuliza na hiyo deni tulifanyia nini? So unawaambia tunataka kwenda Singapore. Tunataka kujenga expressway. Mabarabara zinajengwa. Okay. Jenga tuone.
Mau Summit nini ndo ile
Nilijua utamention hiyo. Nilingoja tu mention.
No, but it is something that is there. Limuru Mau Summit.
How are we financing Mau Summit? It's a good project. I love it. But how are we financing it? You know, as Safina Party, we don't look at what are the people shouting about it. Sisi tunaenda tu kwa aspect, the money aspect of it. How are we financing it? 45% of the project shall be financed by NSSF. NSSF is money saved by Kenyans, which means Kenyans are financing the project 45%. But the road will be tolled so that even those Kenyans who have contributed 45% of the project will have to pay again to use it. Maneno ya kutoll barabara tulitoka huko miaka mingi iliyopita. When some brilliant young people sat down and said, no, how do we make sure that everyone pays? Wakasema, hiyo shilingi 8 yenye ungeweka kwa toll, weka kwa petrol, kwa mafuta ya gari.
Levy.
Fuel levy. So wewe utakuwa unatumia hiyo Mau Rirone Road, umenunua mafuta, ushalipa fuel levy, pesa yako ilitumika in pension fund to finance the road, but you still have to pay to use it. So you are being milked 3 times. No one hates roads, but how are we building it? Today, when I go back to my house, and maybe my people are sleeping hungry, my children are not going to school, and I say, oja tuuze hii TV, ndo hata tukule. But I still tell them, we will move unhindered to stay in Karen. Najua kuishi Karen ni mzuri. But how do you now move from a studio apartment in Kayole to Karen? That's now the biggest issue. After dreaming and imagining of staying in Karen, then how do you move from Kayole to Karen? Do you move from Kayole to Karen by selling what you have in that house? No. You have to diversify your thinking. And as a party of Safina, we have diversified our thinking. and diagnosed the problem of the country. The problem of the country is debt. Now, how do we get away from it?
Okay. Now, that's what you're going to break down for us. And while he does that, Davido, put a poll. Do you believe in the Singapore dream? Andika tu Singapore tunayo hatuna. Alafu weka yes, weka no. Ama tuweke Singapore inaweza, no? Singapore inaweza iwezi.
You see?
Yeah, even that can be something.
And I wish you could find a video of my party leader in a parliamentary committee. This is several months ago. I want to know the time, the year. My guy, get the time of this video. This is my party leader in a parliamentary committee telling them we have an issue of debt, but they ignored him. This is a long time ago.
Is that video? Forward it to me.
Let me forward it to you now. And the people listen to my party leader speak about the issues. Issues that wengine wanaamkanga wanaongea ukabila. Shenzi sana. You see, and that's why President Ruto wants to run the country with showbiz. Say, okay, Talanta Stadium imekuwa Raila Odinga Stadium. Oi! So our problems are done. Pumbafu.
To do a video now, breathe. Pumua. Breathe in.
Anasema Kenyans are average thinkers. Maybe people supporting him are the ones he call average thinkers. Because with all these problems, you're still supporting the guy. You are actually an average thinker.
Singapore, inaweza haiwezi. Yeah, there's a poll over there. Tafadhali, kura yako, haki yako. You've heard the story about Singapore. Do you believe the story? Do you want to experience that? Do you see us getting to that? Just take your vote. Sharon, utalamba sukari mpaka ishe. What's happening?
No, but there is need to add test in the body. You see, we are a consumer country. We don't export anything, even our coffee has come.
Vida ikuji.
Video nimesaa tuma.
Wapi?
Nimesaa jitumia.
Party leader kuwekea data.
Nimejitumia tena. Nimesaa tuma. So, we all agree, apart from a few disorganized sluggards who still don't believe we have a problem. You can see we have like 18% of the total population.
It's a long video.
It's a long video. Yeah, it's a long video. I don't know. Towards the end, that's where, like half of it, yeah.
The video,
half of it to the end.
Ebu iweke from the middle part at least.
So that Kenyans see how their incoming head of state thinks. You know, it's good to be led by a brilliant
kwanza utaanza
president.
Kulipa hii kipindi. Unakujanga hapa kukampenia huyo president wako.
It's for your own benefit. All these people will benefit under our president. You will not, VAT will come down to 5%, which means petrol will be cheaper. You will get affordable loans in banks. You will increase this business. You will have your own plaza of Obinna Show. So you should actually pray that this show, Inazaa Matunda and Jimmy becomes president. It is for the best of every one of us here. Even those who are opposing it. I wish they knew what they are opposing. I know God looks at them opposing and he laughs because they are opposing their own better days.
Tatuma tu invoice. Anasemanga statement moja, but my party safena. But my party leader. Okay, as you are saying, umepata hiyo video? Or in a process? Okay.
So, my friend, we have already agreed that we have a problem. We are ananipigia simu nikiwa live. We have already agreed that we have a problem. Now, how do we get out of this conundrum? Because we have to survive. And every human being is wired to survive. That's why Safina Party, under the most reasonable political leader in this country, Jimmy Wanjigi, is proposing the most solid idea of dealing with our problems. I have told you that our problems revolve around one thing: debt. Why do we have bad schools? Because the money we should build schools are paying debt. Why are we being taxed? Because we need to pay debt. Why are we not getting social services the way we should? Because we need to pay debt. Why are we selling our national assets? Because we are paying debt. Why are we paying debt? Because we need to pay debt. So this is how you get out of this. It's a simple formula.
Okay.
The feast agenda.
Okay.
And people are wondering, how will it work? The question of how must come out very clearly. Our first agenda is that upon assumption of office, suspending of debt payment pending an audit. We will not be the first ones to think of such an agenda. It's one of the 10-point agenda that made Raila Odinga the late and William Ruto to come together. Audit of the public debt. It's a recognized problem of the country. So what do? A radical step to be taken that we suspend debt payment. And Kenyans are asking questions that what do we do? How is it going to be like when we stop paying debt? Ati niliona Gachagua akisema ati we have to pay because we committed ourselves to it. Seemingly, Gachagua does not understand what an odious debt is. Odious debt is an illegal debt. Our constitution stipulates how you borrow. It has to be approved by parliament. That is what makes it sovereign. If the debt wasn't approved by parliament, we don't pay. It has to come to the country through the consolidated fund. That's the only account of the people. And the money that has been borrowed in our name has to come into our account so that we can bear responsibility to pay. And then 3, it has to do a project. That's the only reason why we should borrow. That we borrowed 250 billion, hallelujah, this is what we did with it, and now we need to pay. Okay, that's what we do. If all that is not done, we will not pay. And let me tell you the benefits of not paying the illegal debt. In our estimation of the party, we are going to save close to 2 trillion shillings every financial year. What can we do with the 2 trillion shillings? We don't need any debt from anyone. Therefore, the country does not need to borrow at that time. Then how do we make sure that Kenyans now benefit from us not paying the illegal debt? By saving the 2 trillion, we shall therefore be able to provide services that have been lacking in the country. In our estimation, education from primary to secondary school costs around 200 billion. So when we make 200 billion available in education, it makes education free from primary to secondary. How is that an economically viable decision? As a parent, and you are one, and I want to pose this question to you. How much money do you pay for your kids in school per year, cumulatively?
Let's move on.
Let me assume you are taking your children to a public school.
No, they are not in a public school.
No. That's why I said let me assume.
But why assume?
Because I
am
want
Luo Bwana. Why?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with public school.
I want to use it because you are the one here. Okay. Let me assume that you are taking your children. You have 2 children. Let me assume that. I'm using you as an example. And you have them in high school. Mm-hmm. It's a public high school. And each student, you're paying 40,000 per year.
Okay.
So when the government says that now education in primary and high school is free, per year you will be saving 80,000 that you've been using to do what?
School fees.
School fees. That now becomes an economic stimuli to other projects. That if you had a failing business, you can now boost it.
Okay.
The money you spend on health per year will not be needed because in our estimation, again, we can therefore fund health, which costs only 185 billion every year. We can make that money available. You will not have a situation of a sick hospital the way we have, how do we call it? Kenyatta National Hospital. Those are 2 social programs that we are going to provide as a FINA party. Then third, we have all this put in place. Now, how do we make sure that you have access to further credit, more money to develop yourself? A policy by government that there shall be no domestic borrowing. The biggest mistake President Ruto and his cohorts has done is to go for the money that does not belong to them, the money that belongs to the people. They have borrowed from our banks. We mentioned KCB.
Yep.
That is not money that should be taken by government. It should be taken by all of us here. That is why SMEs are not performing. That is why when you walk in Nairobi town, on a normal day, every building has some closed shops. That shouldn't be the case because every shop closed is a job lost and revenue cut. Wakati biashara imekwanga mzuri Nairobi, to get a stall on ground floor, goodwill ni 1 million.
Plus.
Na unalipa rent ya 6 months before upewe. Saa hii ukipita, wameandika hapo nje, no goodwill. Vacant, no goodwill needed. Unalipa rent ya mwezi moja, unapewa. Even stalls on ground floor are being used as stores. That is an indicator that the economy is not doing well. Wachana na hizi vitu zingine tunaambiwa graph yenye bloggers wa broad-based, people with affordable thinking are posting. This affordable thinking is not going to help us. I have told you how the first agenda, one, we are not paying debt, we are providing free education, we are providing free health care. Wengine wanasema atina SHA itaenda wapi? Why do you need SHA? When we have said you just show up at the hospital with an ID and you get treated. Even the most complex of the surgeries, because money has been availed. How does that help our economy? It will put pressure because people will be now going to hospital. We will need to employ more doctors, build more hospitals, avail more machines. Those are jobs. In education, build more schools, employ more doctors, more children in school. As we speak today, 11 million children are in primary, but only 5 million transition to secondary school. Where do the 6 million go? And out of the 5 million that go to high school, only 280,000 go to university. Where does the other ones go? How do we make sure that we make use of the human capital that we have? It's the biggest capital in the world. China, where they are because of human capital. That's where we are. Have I talked about Singapore? No. I'm just talking about our country here. That you can now, the 22 million people who wake up every day thinking about what they will eat, they can now eat. Then people will begin economic activities that will beg for industries. You know, you cannot dictate an economy how it goes. Particular industries will be demanded by the ecosystem of the economy itself. How did the sugar sector grow? We had jaggeries in the beginning. There was need for bigger factories. That is what led to bigger factories like Mumias, which are now dead, killed by the same people who were supposed to protect them. Today, as we speak here, we have 92,000 bank accounts in Kenya. Is it 92 million bank accounts? 92 million bank accounts, but only 28,000 mortgages. What does that tell you? That even the bank account owners cannot finance a mortgage. And the last agenda, in our first agenda, is
94. 794.
94 million.
94 million bank accounts.
And take how many mortgages? The other agenda, which will be very helpful to us all here, is the agenda of reduction of VAT from 16% to 5%. Was I right?
Only 30,000 active mortgages.
Yes, yes. From 94 million. The working population in this country, let's say we have a working population of 15 million. Only 60,000 people are earning more than 100,000. These people earning more than 100,000, they have an expense called black tax. Because you are the only successful person in your family, every other person depends on you. So you cannot grow yourself because the little you get, you have to pay school fees for your brother's children, for your sister's children, and still struggle to maintain the status in society because you work in Upper Hill, you are a banker, and people in the village know that. So it puts pressure. reduction of VAT from 16% to 5% will reduce the cost of goods because it will reduce the cost of fuel. 52% of the cost of fuel is taxes. 16% of it is VAT. So we are going to reduce 11% of it. So 11% of your petrol will be reduced. 11% of the price of petrol will come down. When you reduce the price of petrol, it has a knock-off effect on every sector. Transportation becomes cheaper. Production becomes cheaper because in production we need energy, which is electricity and fuel. VAT will also reduce the cost of electricity, which means now people engaging in business and like you, I know you pay a considerable amount of money to Kenya Power, it will reduce drastically. And the savings you make out of it, you will invest it elsewhere. By so doing, people will be having disposable income in their pockets. And when so many people have disposable income, business grows. Because ukiuza jackets, people can buy because they have the money. But right now, Kenyans have a choice to choose between paying fare or drinking soda. Kulipa fare kwenda job na kukunywa soda, which one comes first? So kulipa fare. So we have a problem. But the fifth agenda is an antidote to all these problems. I mentioned domestic borrowing. If government comes to KCB and borrows at an interest rate of 16%, that bank will be unwilling to loan anything to you. And when they loan it to you, they will loan it to you at 18% because of risk assessment. They will give it to you at 18% or 20%, which makes it very exorbitant for you to pay. Now, people are not going for loans because of the expensiveness of the loans. When we reduce and stop domestic borrowing by government, it means that the money that has been taken yenye bank imekuwa ikiloni kwa serikali will be available to people. Utakuwa unatoka church on Sunday, unaona tent ya Equity, tent ya KCB, Diamond Trust Bank, with the beautiful looking ladies, soft spoken, coming to you and say, "Hi Obinna, I come from Equity. We have facilities we are giving." Well, what are facilities? These are loans. As a business person, this is your category. You will pay with 3% and all this. Unaona hao, unalipa na 3%. Ukisonga Diamond Trust Bank, wanakuambia, "Hi Obinna, you will pay with 28 point something %." Where Mama Mboga can take a loan of 1 million shillings, at the end of the year, they can only pay 30,000. Everyone will have a chance to thrive. But hii kushout kelele ya Singapore ni kama bottom up. It's another bottom up. Narratives around elections don't solve anything. Name dropping does not replace policy. You can even shout today that we want to become the next America. What do we export as a country? What services do we offer? The biggest service we are offering is house helps in Qatar, Kuwait, and all that. That's our biggest export. Kama hiyo ndio kwenda Singapore, I wish you good luck. But as for me, kabla uniambie kwenda Singapore, kwanza tu tukule tushibe. Hiyo tu. Na watoto wasome bila mahangaiko.
Na watibiwe
bila wasiwasi.
Okay.
So hii makelele mingi ya Kasongo with his cabal of greedy thieves, it is not going to help.
So the poll, Singapore inaweza iwezi, inaweza is 25%, haiwezi is 75%.
Yes.
As we wrap up, Davido, ulipata hiyo video ya Wanjigi? Pandisha mazee watu waone Wanjigi anasema nini, na alisema hivyo kitambo na kusikizwa, si ndio? Joakim, you want to introduce that video? The one for your party leader?
Yes, that's the video. My party leader went to the Committee of Finance and Parliament to tell them what the problem really is. They listened, but typically they are politicians. Vile politician anakuambianga we nipigie kesho hivyo. They never took necessary steps. Now we are dealing with this issue here.
Okay.
Let Kenyans watch.
Play it from the beginning and just let it run.
I want to address domestic debt. Domestic debt, as you have seen being taken in bonds and bills, is approved nowhere in the appropriations development, where debt is anchored. Nowhere. It doesn't exist, but it exists as payments in appropriations recurrent. The payments of this debt are there, but not for development. Now, if the law is clear that we can only take in the medium term for development, this domestic debt is anchored nowhere in any development project. Now, I want to explain to you some absurdities, and I'm using this to start. I hope you'll call me again because we have part 3. This is the absurdity of domestic debt. 2014-2015, we took 292 domestic debt. This is including redemptions, including kila kitu, refinancing. We took 292, right? And we repaid the same year 287. Higher. You go to the next. 2015-2016, 506, we repaid 347. 2016-2017, 414, we repaid 369. 420 in 2017, we repaid 409. 486 in 2018, we repaid 505. In 2019, we had 558, we repaid 514. In 2020, we took 790, we repaid 709. In 2021-22, we took 877, we repaid 823. Last year, we were estimated, we've not reached there, to take 1 trillion, and our repayments, according to the current appropriations, is 1 trillion. I want to explain the absurdity. So we are taking debt, on the one hand, but look, our taxes have equivalent amount of money to pay the same debt. So 2014-2015, 292, we paid 287. So why were we taking debt? Why were we taking debt? We had the cash. And as I said, it's not anchored in law. It is not in the appropriations development anywhere. It did not go towards any project. So why are we taking this domestic debt? I have the next chart that will show that we had enough revenue. In that, we had revenue for all our recurrent expenditure, according to the taxman. And he also lists there that we had enough. So the issue here is that there was a clear motive. Go back. There was a clear motive. If you see, we took debt from the domestic market of 5.3 trillion. We repaid in the same year, whether it is redemptions, whether it's what, or 4.9. So we had the cash. We didn't have to take new debt. The principal payments were 2.3, and the interest payments were 2.6 trillion. 2.6 trillion. This is our question. If this is what you call debt sustainability, I don't understand it. Because so far, what the Treasury has been doing outside of the approval of this House is a scheme that you have not approved. We don't know what this money is going for. It is not going to any project in this country. They have never said they have a shortfall of revenue from KRA, and yet they are paying almost 3 trillion in interest to these banks over 9 years. It is a most frightening figure. Most frightening figure. Now, if you go to the next slide, it shows you categorically, we had the revenue, we had the tax revenue. In 2014, we had 1 trillion, including domestic debt payments that have articulated 200 and something, external debt payments, right? And all our recurrent expenditure. We spent 807. We even had a surplus of 194.
Excuse me, kindly, sir. We borrowed. Are you saying tax revenues for statement of what should? I want to understand. Kindly bring us.
Let me explain, Mheshimiwa. This particular chart is this tax revenue as per the statement of actual revenue and exchequer issues, right? So these are the tax revenues that have been collected, all right, and posted. So in 2014-2015, we collected 1 trillion. Our total expenditure on the recurrent appropriations, including debt payments, net domestic, in other words, domestic, external, everything, is 807. The other is like a credit. Is a surplus, yes. Is a surplus. This is what we're wondering, what is going on with the Treasury and yourselves. There seems to be a very major disconnect. We have a surplus, and if you see at the bottom, our calculation, and I'm prepared to defend this anywhere, because we went through these appropriations like a fine-tooth comb with a forensic eye. Our surplus over the years is 1.9 trillion. So you tell us what is happening. Every time we are being told we have shortages. I've also articulated that we have paid our debt to the extent of 5.6 and you never see the credit. You don't see it anywhere in Central Bank that we have paid our debt. Yet nobody is complaining that debts have not been paid. So we never hear, but we never see the credit on the books. You never see it. You just see the debt increasing. You don't hear about you don't see anywhere where 5.6 is recorded over the last 9 years as a credit for debt payments. You don't see this surplus recorded anywhere. And have you heard Kenya Revenue say that they have met not that can go as commissions, bank fees?
We appreciate your loyalty and trust. You are not just fans, but you are part of the Obinna TV family. Here is to kindness, authenticity, laughter, and even more great and amazing shows. Thank you for patronizing us and making every moment on screen special. From Obinna TV studios, we wish you happy holidays.